Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. Today we have a Jatobá, a tree from South America and also Central America. I'm going to train it into a Bunjin style using a bar of iron. I will forge into the shape I want it to take and then wire the tree to that form. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here's the form I made. It's going to anchor into the pot like so. I'm going to train this tree in this direction, and then I had changed the plane so it even goes this way. So let's go ahead and take this to the garden. So here we are in the table in the garden. We have our newly forged form that will be placed into the pot like so. We have our Jatoba seedling that we're going to train. We have aluminum wire, and we have a pair of disposable cutters for cutting the aluminum, because metal on metal is not great for the edge, but that's a topic for another time. I also have my hand forged wire tongs to help twist on that wire, and let's get started. Let's start with the bottom here and setting in the form. Now I built a foot on this so it doesn't attack the root ball directly, so you can see here, pull this back a little bit, that can go into the pot from the side in like so, and its own weight's going to settle it into the pot like so. There's that. Now what we're going to have to do is wire this form down, because it's got its own weight besides the tree, and the tree shouldn't be supporting the weight of the iron. It should be the other way around. So let's go ahead and wire that in. So what I'm going to do is, if I can stabilize this a little bit, like so, perhaps get some wire cut. I'm going to run that through the air pot here. It's another reason that air pots are so great, is you can go ahead and wire on through anything you wish. So I made this little T, which I'm going to feed through here and bend up and over the form like so. I'm going to go on a diagonal to help keep that form, the weight of the form down. Actually, you know what? I'll even go one step further. I'll give this one loop around the form itself. There we go. pulling this back. And then there's another hole here I can use on the pot. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm making a little mess, but it's going to be worth it. So we'll go ahead and slide this up. We'll put a little bit of a bend in it so it's easy to feed that back through the hole, like so. There you go. Just wire it directly to the pot for now. Now you can see I'm making quite a mess, so I'm going to go ahead and move some of this soil around to help settle this foot back in here. I'm going to need another wire from the base to this side to stabilize that. And while I stabilize that, I'm just going to go ahead and use my bottle here to, perhaps use my bottle here to help stabilize that. Like so. I'll cut another piece of wire off. And this one's going to go straight around the post. Like so. Slide this one up a little higher. And we'll go ahead and feed this through this hole here. Now we got ourselves a side anchor. We'll pull this up a little higher. Ratchet this on like so. Might as well use our nifty little tongs here maybe. Get the fold back down a little bit. Just don't poke you when you're trying to wire the tree. Go ahead and feed this in a few times through different holes. Give a nice little anchor to it. Try not to hurt the plastic. So there we go. So you can see that. Now that this is wired in the pot, I gotta manipulate this tree so it will follow the form. I'm gonna prepare a few pieces of wire here to help train that tree onto the form now. I'm gonna start off by just making little bends like so. So I can trap. Now this has got like a flaky bark already starting on the tree. So if you hear cracking, it's most likely this. These are actually the cotyledons. These are the first two leaves that appeared on the tree when it came out of the seed. That is pretty impressive that they're still here months later. So I'm going to lean the tree this way, which is important. Capture that spirit of bonsai. Curves are good in this particular Bunjin style. I'm going to turn that like so. I don't want to go too tight because I don't want to hurt the seedling. It's still green. I don't actually have any true old growth bark on this. So what I'm going to do is stabilize both of these. Do a little half turn with my tongs here. If I can. This here was actually giving me a little trouble. Just going to do this one by hand, I think. There. Start another one, like so. I'm going to go ahead and backfill this dirt here. This is actually fine basalt from an aquarium supplier. So these cotyledons are going to eventually die off when the tree develops more. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around right now. I can see what I'm doing a little bit more. This is going to require some more bracing because the tree is actually the second hardest wood in the world. So trying to bend its trunk is a dangerous prospect. See how I've trained that? Now I'm going to change the camera angle here so you can see me moving up. Alright, so you can now see the top of the tree. I'm going to cut a few more pieces here so we can train the tree as we go. They don't need to be terribly long, a couple inches max, because the tree is getting smaller in diameter as we go up. So I'm going to turn this so I can see what I'm doing. This big cotyledon leaf is blocking my view. I don't want to hurt the tree too much. I might not be able to train this directly to the form, right away. It might take some coaxing. What I'll do is I'll make like a sleeve of wire, a guide of wire, if you will, and then I can tighten it over time. Now I can also slide it up here and then slowly get the tree to come with me as I slide it. I don't know if you can see that technique. Slowly sliding up the tree, and it makes it contort to it, see? So I made like an elongated loop out of the wire, and then I slid it up the form to help train the tree without giving it a break. We don't want that. So we'll keep doing that. The next one, same idea. I'm not going to do a sleeve. I'm going to go ahead and put this on like the ones on the bottom here. So again, being very respectful to the tree without breaking it. I'm going to go ahead and tighten the bottom sleeve that I just made. It helped. A lot of traffic on this Sunday. Now, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I just need to have this angle. I apologize for this big leaf in the way. Maybe we can do that for you. Alright, that one's down. So that's two right there. Is the sleeve I started with, which I'll go back and tighten. Here's the one I just put on here. Now I'm going to put one more here, and then I'm going to start training this in this direction. Kind of let the tree's fibers let me know which way the tree wants to roll. See how that kind of drops when I bend it down? I'll just let it do that. Let the tree grow into this form. So I'll take this piece here, bring it to here. Bring this one down. Steady the form when you do this so you don't hurt the form or the tree. You don't want the wire being abrasive on the stem or the trunk or branch or whatever you're wiring. I'm going to cut a few more pieces now. Pretty sure you guys can still see what I'm doing. I'll give you a close-up at the very end. I'm going to cut 3 more of these, like so. I'm going to rotate this. See what I'm doing. Yeah, I think it's easier for me to go from this angle. So I'm going to go ahead and train this tree up now to here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in close, like so. Hope for the best. It's still very green, so we should be able to. This is not long enough. Sorry, the iron bar is pretty thick up here, which is good because over time it's not going to. The tree's not going to be able to manipulate the bar or the form like it does with wire over time. So that's the advantage of doing a forged form over traditional wiring. I haven't really come up with a name for this style yet. I've been calling it forged to form. I gotta come up with something more clever than that though, I think, in the future. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this in with my finger. Piece of wire is also too small. So if you see if I can't use my tongs here to collapse that at all. I think these tongs are too small. And that happens sometimes. So I'm gonna leave that there for now. See if I can't tighten this up some more. There we go. It's a little tighter, that's a little tighter. I'm gonna go ahead and make a longer cutting here of wire, just so I can get around the bar. I'm gonna go ahead and, again, I'm gonna let it roll the way it wants to roll when I force it this direction. So it kinda wants to go this way. So very gently. Again, I don't want to hurt this tree. I don't want to break off this piece of new growth. I'm going to go with the flow it has. You know, it's important to have to go with the flow. I'm just going to be bold and do it. There's that. So she's attached there. I'll go ahead and I'll tighten these. I'll go back and tighten these in a second. I'm going to keep training this down. Got one more to go. At least one more piece of aluminum wire to put on to train it down the rest of the way. And then as it grows, I'm going to train it around the bend here. See this? And then I'll probably, I don't know if this is a piece of wire is big enough. No. Cut another piece. And I'll train this piece here to go into here, like so. On the inside maybe. Looks better on the inside. There we go. So all I need to do now is the whole tree is now leaning because the form is being pulled this way, so I'm gonna build another anchor. Go ahead and make another anchor here. This time, wire above this point. Start the hook there a little bit. There it is. And then I can take this and pull it back. Which I'm not sure where yet, but we're working on that. There we go. Air pots for the win. Put that there. I don't know how I like that. So that should keep from falling over, in theory. That does work a little bit. Although I'm not happy with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull some more of that out and tighten it like that. I want this to be more of an upright form, so that's what I'm working toward. I'm gonna pack in the soil around this so it has less inclination to move about, like so. So here we have it all wired up. I'm going to check this every few days to make sure nothing loosens up or moves. I'm going to put some more soil in here when I get some in the mail. And that's how you use a form to train a Jatobá into a Bunjin. I'm going to let it continue to grow out and see how it develops. We have taken this Jatobá seedling and trained it into an iron form that I made earlier in the day. And it's going to be trained into a Bunjin style or a literati style bonsai. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Consider liking and subscribing if you like the video. As we say, it's encouragement. And until next time, thank you for joining us.